Welcome to the Jayar Show podcast. I am Jayar. This episode, I get the privilege of chatting with one of my favorite guests of all time. Possibly favorite all time. He's written some of the greatest songs ever sung in the church, but he's also one of the funniest guys I've ever met in my life. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Josh Baldwin.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the legend, Josh Baldwin. How are you, sir?
It's good to be here.
It's good to be here.
What an intro.
It is good to be here on the halfway point-ish to Josh Baldwin Day. We worked it out.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
This is half Josh Baldwin Day.
We have to talk on the day and then see each other halfway to the day.
I do want to ask you, before we go find your questions for the interview.
Yes, my life has been changed since that day.
Did you read this?
No, was that the
After
question?
2 years of the southeast of America celebrating Josh Baldwin Day every October 31st, how has your world changed?
Wow. I really didn't read that.
What's my second question?
Well, here's how it's changed. I can see the future.
Wow.
I know now every question you're going to ask me.
Because you know me.
Because I know you.
Here's the junk he's going to ask me.
It's honestly, I can't even put into words.
And I won't.
And so I will stop talking from here on out. How much my life has changed.
Well, I can. This is probably a question for us. How has our listeners' lives
Seriously,
changed?
I want to know. I know what it means to me. Every day is Josh Baldwin Day to me. That's how I live life.
Love me.
I just can't. Whether it's good or bad, it's always me.
I just love. Around Halloween, I have the shirt.
Yeah.
It's got your silhouette of your face on the front, and on the back, it's got the Joy FM logo, and it says October 31st.
Yeah.
And so I'll wear that at different points of the year just because it's one of the only thing that fits. And so I just can't imagine what people are thinking if they're sitting behind me at a Starbucks. Joy FM, October 31st. First of all, those two just aren't. Halloween Day and Joy FM don't really hang out much,
They're waiting to say like Hallelujah Night or something. Harvest.
Joy FM's alternative to Halloween. If you look at the front of the shirt, I'll show you the alternative.
Yeah, here's the alternative.
It's Josh Baldwin Day, a guy who makes worship hits that just fall out of his pocket.
Yeah.
That's why we celebrate. No, but it is kind of interesting that I love if you make up a bit on the air and you can sell it to the audience as, oh, this is fun and playful, and they get behind it, things can stretch 10 years. And so I'm still thinking, I can't, if I'm still on the air in 10 years, think about a decade of just every October 31st, people are like, this is fun.
Yeah.
We play Josh Baldwin songs. The staff gets a cake.
What's going to be depressing though is if 10 years I'm not doing music anymore and no one knows who I am, and they're just like, who is this? It's like, what is Josh Baldwin Day? Like, who is he?
And knowing this show, if you've been gone for 5 years, we're still just gonna do it. You know, even if I have to describe, it was a guy.
Well, at least I'll always have you guys. Where are you going, babe? You remember that one station that still once a year plays my music? I'm going to go down and see him now
Say hi to the people.
Yeah, I got to go.
She's like, yeah, good. All right, so let's do this. We have this thing that we're going to fire up. It's sort of like a bouncy castle.
Yeah. Is that? I was wondering what it is.
And it's going to get blown up here. All your questions are inside of here. And there's cash in there and Publix coupons. So we're going to give you 30 seconds to just reach for your questions.
I'm going in here to reach for my questions.
There's also a GoPro in there. Say hi to the people.
Oh, I thought you were like a GoPro for me to have.
Yeah,
I was like, that thing is powerful enough to blow a GoPro around in the air.
Be careful, because when the Xbox starts flying, you're going to have to guard your face.
Oh, gosh.
You're like, there's an Xbox in there? Yeah, but it's coming at you 100 miles an hour.
Are the questions blowing around,
they're
or they're
on the
just
ground.
on the ground?
They're on the ground, written on paper. There's fake money in there. There's real money in there.
So I just walk in there and reach down on the ground and grab questions?
No, they're going to be flying past your face.
Oh, okay.
And so you're going to reach for them and put them in your pocket. Keep reaching 30 seconds.
Okay.
Then we're going to come back to this table and dump them here. And then we're going to answer your questions.
I love how I tried to figure out, instead of just be quiet and let you describe it to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, hold on. I see the future now. So you're telling me I'm going to go in there and I got to clean No. If you'll just listen.
You guys are gonna release a warthog inside that tube,
and it's alive.
Warthog. No. It might be better if I just tell you, Josh.
You're like, no, just why don't? Because we don't have much time.
You're going down some real rabbit trails. You're gonna fill that with poison and gas,
dude. That should be the name of our. We should start a podcast called Rabbit Trails.
You're just trying to replace me for Mac Brock.
No, well, I need a new podcast buddy. Rabbit Trails with Josh and Jayar.
Yeah.
Jayar and Josh. You're the professional.
That's all right.
J and J.
J&J.
Okay, sorry.
Let's go. We're gonna go in.
Do this.
So we're mic'd up so that we can hear each other, or we'll be able to hear you in there. But then you will be seen on the GoPro. So here we go.
And the inventor of the mic.
Here we go. We're looking at your haul that you pulled from the golden tube of mystery. We put our own money in there so that people know that it's our own cash. It's basically taken from our children. No, but we knew there was a 20 in there and nobody's ever gotten it. You got the real 20.
The real 20. Yeah. Do I get to actually keep this?
Yeah.
Like, seriously?
Yeah. Put that in your pocket. Make sure it ends up with your kids. Give it to your kids.
Oh yeah, no. Kids will eat this week. Thank you.
Speaking of your kids, you and our friend Danny Goki, your buddies are or your boys are buddies.
They're buddies. They go to school together. Yeah. They're in the same class together. Okay. And
it's interesting.
Good boys.
For the audience to know, like, if you think about We Are Messengers and Unspoken, share a mailbox space. Then you and Danny Goki, your boys.
Chad from Unspoken, his kids go to that school too.
Oh, okay.
And I see him. And Jordan Felice's kids go to that school. So I see them.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, we all get pictures together. Hey, just dads. Look at us.
While our wives are out working in the factory.
Yeah. Our wives are at their jobs, and we're just home. No. But our boys are Danny Jr. and my son's Bear in the same class.
And they're good boys.
They're good. They're the best kids in that class. They're just good boys.
Yeah.
They're good listeners.
Yeah. We're going to dive into your questions that came out of this pile here in just a couple moments. And then we'll get into some meat here on the Halfway to Josh Baldwin Day celebration here on the Joy FM. Hanging out as we get you, or at least we hear from you every October 31st.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy is this October 31st, it's weird to think it'll be the third annual Josh Baldwin
that
Day.
Is nuts. I can't believe this last one was the second.
Yeah.
Which is how that works chronologically. I'm just like, wow, super impressed. Josh can count.
Because you thought this thing was going to die after
I was
that.
like, this is a cool one time.
They made a shirt with my face.
But no, when you reminded me and then I called in, I was like, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's the
thing. They're going to keep this going.
Oh, yeah. We're already making preparations for year 3. I want a new shirt because as we get further in, how hilarious the shirt gets to say third annual Josh Baldwin Day, October 31st. Like, because once you start adding numbers to that, even if you don't care about it, it's like, oh, this is real.
It feels like you actually have to keep it going to get to bigger, to get to like 10.
Yeah. Like I've
15,
signed
20.
up for Turkey Trot 5Ks because it said 34th annual. And I'm like, oh, this is a
34th annual Josh Baldwin Day is gonna be lit.
I'll be dead.
Oh yeah, we'll be in our 70s.
Still celebrating.
Yeah.
Let's go with if I were to. Oh, we took our staff took just a quick weekend flight to this event the other day, and there was so much happening on that flight. Like Haley and I ended up with this guy sitting between us on this flight that just sprawled out and fell asleep, and it was the worst 90 minutes because he just did not know personal space, and like there was no conversation about armrest.
Yeah.
It was just he claimed it. He was a huge like football player guy, or you could tell used to be.
Yeah.
And his legs just went out like he was laying in a king-size bed in a hotel. And Haley and I were just on opposite sides of him, curled up in a ball, trying to survive 90 minutes. I'm like, that is one of my worst flying pet peeves.
Yes.
Is that. And I always end up with a person that's like, oh, this seat reclines? I paid for this. I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I will
My
recline.
laptop goes flying. What are some, you fly a lot, what are some ones for you that's like, oh, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's a big one, having someone who's in the middle seat, and because he was in the middle seat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, having someone in the middle seat who, I get it. They're like, I'm in the middle seat, at least give me both the armrests, which I'm like, I get that.
Yeah.
I hate middle seat. I like the window.
Yeah.
I want to be over in my own little station over here, and I want everyone over here to leave me alone.
Yeah.
But so that's a big one. Pet peeve in flights is when the flight's over is like people from the back trying to get off before.
Yeah.
Like we're all like adults.
Yeah.
We all know like the order of like each row at a time.
Yeah.
Wait your turn. It's people like trying to get off before you, and I will purposefully take my time if I feel someone just like, because I'm just like
a row behind you trying to get.
I'm just like, hey, guess what? You're not my mom.
Yeah.
Look, I'm an adult, and you can just wait your turn.
Yeah.
I can't stand that.
Well,
when
what's
people are
funny
trying to
is
get off.
the joke's on them because you're both getting off at the same time. You're enjoying a seat.
Yeah.
Like, why do you want to stand?
Yeah, stay put.
It's crazy.
You're not going to get there any faster than I am.
Yeah, but now you're on your feet.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting. So that one doesn't make sense to me.
That one annoys me.
I can see if you're late for a flight and you sprint up to get ahead of us.
Yeah.
But if you're at the same spot as me, have a seat.
Yeah. Also, people, which I don't mind because I'm fine to talk and chat with people.
Yeah.
But yeah,
international recording artist here. How are you? I'm Josh
Hi.
Baldwin.
Please ask me what I do. Don't ask me what I do. You know what? So fast forward. Okay. Yes, people talking on flights and wanting to talk a lot is like, okay, I'm fine to chat for a minute, and then let's both put our headphones in and drift off into our own little worlds.
We don't have to be lifelong.
Yeah. But I will say it's funny because when you travel around with a band and you tend to all kind of look like you're doing music.
Yeah.
And people always are like, are you guys a band? And we're like, yeah.
What's the band
and
called?
then they're always like, what's the name of your band?
My name.
Which, yeah. And I'm like, it's just my name. Yeah. What is that? It's Josh Baldwin. And because I'm like, I know you don't know who I am. And so then they have to say, oh, I've never heard of you. I'm like, cool. How do you think that makes me feel? Like, I don't want to go down that road because I know you've never heard of me. Hey, so just be like, oh, you guys play music. Yeah.
I want you to know it's the same in our world because every time I'm getting a haircut, like, what do you do for a living? I work. Once you say work in radio, the next question is, what station?
Yeah.
And if they don't listen, they're about to tell you all the other stations they choose
I just
over you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. What kind of music? What like? And I'm like, I used to be like, I'll just say like, country-ish rock or something folk. Dumb because I don't know why I was just like, wasn't gonna say like Christian
or worship.
But now I just say like Christian music or worship music because that immediately like they don't want to talk about it anymore, or they do and it's great and we talk about it and it's awesome. But usually that does shut down the conversation. I worship music. I write a lot of worship music. Okay, awesome. All right.
The only problem is it's like, do you know Brandon Lake?
Yeah, that is another thing. Like, and then I have to be like, yes, and show him that I have his number. And he texted me the other day. Look at here. No.
Do you want to read my text from Brandon?
You know what? You know what other funny thing is? People are always like, "What's your band name?" But think about it. How many actual bands are there anymore?
Yeah.
Like. There's not that many just like bands.
Yeah. Like with a weird name. Deep Fried Denise.
But that's automatically the thing people say is if they see a bunch of musicians, what's the name of your band?
Like, I named it after the name that's on my birth certificate.
Yeah, it's just that is so there's something so humiliating about just being like, it's just my name. Like you couldn't think of a cool name. Well, sometimes it's just me though, so it's just my name.
Are there lots of people in your band? Yeah. And so your band's called Me.
It's just me. Just my name. It's even worse when they're asking the other guys in the band. It's like, nah, it's just his name. It's just him. Yeah, never heard of you. Yeah, I figured. Thanks for wasting our time.
Yeah.
See you later.
That's great. And then all of a sudden you're like, And I throw up my hands and I praise you. Maybe you heard of that.
Do you have any CDs? No, no one listens to actual CDs anymore. It's just streaming. You can just listen to it for free if you want.
Yeah. So what's your job? You can listen to me for free.
You can, yeah. How do you make money? Well, I'm on this flight flying to a gig
in the middle seat.
In the middle seat. Could you get your elbows off me, sir? And be quiet. Stop talking to me. Leave me alone.
I love how we went full circle back to middle seat. That was perfect.
Professionals.
Let's shift for a moment. I want to ask you, just as a songwriter, because I like to get out ahead of maybe a song coming one day. And maybe you'll never write about this, but just something over the past few months that's stirring in you on a spiritual nature that you're like, oh my gosh, this has been brewing for a while. I can see, oh man, I just have a feeling that I might write about this one day because of what it's been brewing in you.
Wow.
I know this is our
That's
weird
a good
moment
question.
where we transition from
silliness into the transmission. This is where we transition.
You're such a dude.
This is where we transition.
I accidentally say transmission because I'm such a guy.
Gosh, that's good. Now I'm like, man, nothing stirring in me.
I'm just a stay-at-home dad that picks up my kids.
Well, I mean, I think I have songs that I've already written that aren't out yet that are coming hopefully in the next year or two.
From moments
that were stirring.
Yeah. Even if you wanted to just go there.
I
can't sit here forever. Josh.
Yeah. If that's all that you have, then yeah, we'll take it. We'll take anything. Anything serious coming out of you. Please.
I have to fill a quota. It's Christian radio. I got to get serious.
You know what? I do have. Okay. So, I mean, this goes back to like almost 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I had this conversation with one of my best friends, and we were talking about his son, his son. Me and him are best friends. He plays guitar for me, and he's been playing. He was in my wedding. We've known each other forever, and his son and my son are really close. And his son is at that time it was like 11, but he's like this old soul kind of kid, like just. Where he's like 11-year-old kid, but he kind of walks around, just acts like he's like 65 or something. You're just like, wow, this kid's like,
reads
like
the
Benjamin.
Newspaper.
Yeah. And so we were talking about that just randomly one evening, hanging out, not in a spiritual way, nothing spiritual, just talking. And I was like, man, your kid is just like a full-grown man at a real young age. And he was like, dude, that is like a great line for a song.
Yeah.
Thinking like, oh, that's a great country song, kind of vibes. And then I was like, oh yeah, it is. So I remember I started thinking about it more like days after that, and then thinking about like but I could probably I feel like that has like some biblical like spiritual like context to it. And then I just started thinking about the Lord. I was like, well, who was like the one person who was like full grown at a real young age?
Yeah.
Just like Jesus, like he's eternal. He's always been. Yeah. He'll always be. And so I just had this idea to like, I want to write a song about the Lord being a full grown man, like coming in. He was a baby, but he's always been. And he was like the ultimate old soul kid, 12 years old in the synagogue teaching the leaders. Yeah. And so I did like 4 years ago. This was probably one of the first trips I took to write songs during the COVID time. It was like November 2020. Yeah. I came to Nashville and hung out with my buddy David Leonard and another friend of mine, Scott Mills, and I just talked about that story, and I was like, kind of want to write a song called Full Grown Man, just about Jesus. And so we wrote that song 4 years ago. Yeah. And I have been sitting on that song for 4 years, and it's kind of just been this. It's very like singer-songwriter type song. It's not like a worship song. Yeah. And but it just talks about the Lord and like how he was even like how he was born, like came into this world as a wanted man, like people going after him, and just how even that can like living life like that at the highest stakes makes you a full-grown man at a real young age. Oh, wow. And then even moving on to like 12 years old in the synagogue, teaching the leaders about his kingdom come.
Yeah.
And he had his, what is the line? He had his mama worried for 3 whole days, but he was a full-grown man at a really young age. And it's just like very
country.
It is. I mean, it's a very country cowboy Jesus song, right. And I go back to that song all the time. I've been sitting on it, and I think that is like the next thing I do, the next project album.
Yeah.
Is going to be like the full-grown man album.
Yeah.
And release that song. So. That's, I mean, when you first said that, I know you were talking about more like what right now gets out. But a lot of times right now, like, because most of what I write is worship songs for the church, like a lot of those moments and ideas that I have that feel like they go to that and that down that lane, like those happen faster. And just like, we write those and it's sometimes even easier to get those out quicker. But it's the ones like that I sit on for a while that are more like the singer-songwriter songs that I wait on and try to find like a good lane for him. But
full-grown man.
Yeah, like full-grown man.
Let's go with from one of the questions you pulled from your stash from the golden tube of madness. What
the golden room of madness?
Who would you? Okay, this one says, which artist would you love it if they came back? Let's just say from the dead.
Yeah.
For 1 week to give us one more album.
Oh wow!
All the way back, you can. They're only here for a week.
Probably Tom Petty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would his new album adjust to 2025, or would it be?
I mean, I think his style is just is what do you call? I'm losing the word. What's the timeless,
yeah.
Evergreen. You know, I just think who he, you know, his style's is timeless. So I would love one more album from Tom Petty.
This one says, amazing. Worship before you do a show. Concert goers or people that come to your shows have no clue that before a show I blank.
Before a show I mean practically I'd warm up my voice. I go to this like YouTube channel.
Exercise number 1, lip roll.
Let me try it.
I mean, it would even help you, you know, just your speaking voice.
Yeah.
I'm sure your voice gets tired.
Will you send me the link for Jacob?
I sure will.
By the way, you just got a message from your dad on your phone.
My dad did just. Yeah. Oh, I sent him a video of my son playing drums, and my dad just said, "He's getting it."
So you can pick up the accent in his text?
Yeah.
The North Carolina?
Yeah. He's getting it. You met my dad, didn't you?
No, we've talked about him quite a bit.
You met him when I was on tour with Phil Wickham, name drop.
Yeah.
Phil just texted me.
It's nice that Maverick City was also on the bill, but you didn't even mention that.
No, and it was just Naomi. It wasn't all of Mav City.
Oh, okay.
I saw you then.
Yeah, I met your dad.
My dad was there.
Yeah. Yep.
Remember?
No.
Do you remember? You don't remember, do you?
Meeting your dad.
You know what? You probably didn't. I think I said bye to my dad because I went to go talk to you.
Yeah.
He was leaving.
I got to go meet this guy.
I was like, Dad, this
idiot
Jayar guy. I mean,
he made a holiday.
Pretend like I'm friends with him, and because
when you're talking to somebody, you're like, hold on one second. This is my friend Jayar. Is a radio guy. I gotta talk to him.
I have to talk to him.
When you make up a holiday, somebody makes up a holiday, there's just an
you're
obligation.
Obligated for life.
Yeah, you're locked into being.
I'm like, Dad, no, that was pre-holiday. That was just we're actually friends. No, I just said this is my friend Jayar. I didn't say what you do.
Right.
No.
Thank you.
I'm not that kind of guy.
If I just have to tell you, Josh, because I know you're a diehard golfer, but I am probably the only man in Florida that does not golf. Can you convince me on what I'm missing out on? I mean, I'm a soccer nut, so they're the same thing.
Yeah.
Put ball in hole.
Yeah, they're the same thing.
But
yeah,
what am I missing? Why should I be more passionate about it?
Well, I mean, you're missing out on a lot of frustration, and just to be on your side for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is frustrating. You're missing out on. It's expensive to play golf.
Okay.
But you're missing out on, the beauty of being outside, outdoors.
Yeah.
The grass, which I know that's in soccer too, but
yeah,
But you get to just stop and enjoy. Like soccer is just like running and golf is like relax. It's the one sport where you can like you're playing a sport, but you're also relaxing.
Yeah, it's like being in a recliner outside.
Yeah.
You
feel like you're kind of getting to work. You're walking, but you're still like it's still relaxing. Mentally, not so much, but always. But if you just like throw away like, hey, I'm not going to be a pro.
Yeah.
I need to just enjoy myself. Yeah, but there's just also you get that feeling when you actually flush like a 7-iron.
Yeah.
There's nothing like that.
Huh.
And some people play golf and they never and they still never feel that feeling.
You're just describing an expensive way to take a walk.
No, it's true.
That's kind of what you
yeah, you could there's so many golf courses where you live. You could probably just go take a walk on one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's me and a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Hey, how's it going, man?" "Good, I'm on a walk for free."
Yeah, I'm going to walk.
"What are you doing?"
"Down a fairway."
We paid. We paid to walk. That's great. All right. What let's go with the cuz you've written some real bangers from a worship standpoint. We were talking about Benjamin William Hastings the other day.
I golf with him some.
Oh, really? Because he lives in town now. Yeah,
he lives in town. We golf. He's the last person I play golf with, actually.
He looks like he's part of Switchfoot. But then when you sit and if you were to sit and look at a list of worship songs that this guy has written,
he's on so many.
You don't know it until you're in church and you see Benjamin William Hastings on the screen.
Yeah,
and it's like he's never been this known name, and then all of a sudden now people are starting to go, this guy has written "So Will I," "Oh Praise the Name,"
"Gratitude."
It just But from me, as a worship nut, you also have been a part of some really big songs now. But what is the worship song of the past year? We'll just say it kind of got hot in 2024 that you've seen either hit radio or the church that you're like, that is an anthem that connects people to God, that you're like, oh man, I kind of wish I wrote that one.
Oh, okay.
As a worship writer.
As a worship writer.
Yeah.
Wow, in the last year.
Just not something from back in the day.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, Holy Forever is really special. That chorus is kind of timeless. I mean, I don't think you can ever get tired of singing that chorus.
Yeah.
I love, I mean, I'm biased because he's a really good buddy, but I love about anything that Cody writes, Cody Carnes.
Oh, yeah.
And Firm Foundation is pretty special.
Did he write that one?
Yeah.
Okay, so first time I ever heard it was Map City.
Yeah, he wrote it with Chandler from Map City.
And then Cody did his own version of it.
That one is pretty special.
Yeah.
I think that one, and because there's something, it's simple, but it's also just even different in how it kind of start, like the verse is kind of the chorus.
Yeah.
Christ is my first. And it just like starts there, but then it goes to the he won't, but then it goes back to the it's just even that is like I love that it's like different than your standard verse, chorus, verse, bridge, just all that. But that's probably one that
I also feel like if you when you're in, you can kind of tell. We work in the worship world, we are around the songs more, but then you see the common churchgoer that gets hooked on songs you and I have been over for a while, not in a bad way, but but like
just around it more.
There was a season where "I Speak Jesus" had its
the
Charity Gale song. It had its year. You know what I feel like this most recent year is Elevation's "I Trust in God."
Oh, I trust in God.
If you see a crowd do that one lately, it's the new "I Speak Jesus."
Yeah,
my Savior, the one.
Oh, people love that. Oh. Yeah, and I think too the nostalgia of even how the verses kind of go back to the that old hymn.
Right? Yeah, but the one before "I Speak Jesus" was probably one that you're kind of attached to in a way. Is "Goodness of God."
Yeah,
"Goodness of God" had
the
COVID years for me. "Goodness of God" kind of took off.
Yeah, that one was a shocker.
That was Jen Johnson, right?
That was Jen. I didn't write on it, but I did it a lot, and I was just part of it with the that one. That song is so old. That song. This is how old that song was. It was on the same album as my song "Stand in Your Love,"
which was one of the first songs we ever played from you back in the day.
Like that was 2018 maybe. So that's how long ago that song was recorded.
Yeah,
and then we let it some at Bethel, but it wasn't like one of the main ones we did. And then all of a sudden it just took off, and and then CC.
I think Goodness of God will be one of those that we'll be talking about in 100 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, special song.
Just like Made for More. We'll be talking
more.
about that. If this is the last question we pulled from your all the questions you pulled here, Josh, if we put you transported to 1850,
okay,
kind of like Marty McFly went back and Back to the Future, but like knowing what 2025 Josh Baldwin, and all of a sudden you're there for a week.
Yeah, are
you just like surviving, or would you go make a new life? Would you impress people with the knowledge you have of the future?
It's funny because do you watch Nate Bargatze?
Yes, that's where I stole this.
Oh gosh, okay, sorry, but I love his bit about that. He's like, I don't think I'd do anything different, and I was like, I feel like I related to it so much because I'm like, we have phones back there, and it's like, how do they happen?
What's a phone?
I don't know.
Satellite?
It's a satellite. What's a satellite? Got to get it pretty high up there.
His line was, if anything, they would think I was from the past.
Yeah, it's like that. I'd have a hard time convincing them I'm from the future. Who's the president? I don't know. You know what? The funny thing is, I would love to think that I would do well. Yeah. If anything, I would probably maybe I could do like the whole what's that movie about the guy who he's like the only one on earth that knew about the Beatles, and so he like pretended like he wrote all these Beatles songs.
Oh yeah, I never saw that
but it's really good, and I was like, maybe I would do something like that. Just start playing, like pretending like I wrote these massive songs and be like, wow.
That's gonna be, as a singer-songwriter, this is gonna be a moral dilemma from you, because it's wrong.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
For you to come in and claim, hey, you walk into a saloon and go, move over, piano guy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to wow you guys.
Just start.
But you're claiming these are yours.
Yeah. Na, 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 na.
Yeah.
Hey, Jude.
And these people are going crazy.
Yeah.
What? I got friends in
I was actually thinking of that one. That's funny that you said that.
But that's a big crowd participation one. But
these
people are in the palm of your hand. You know how to play them. You got the piano. If somebody had a guitar back then, I don't even know, is guitar a new thing?
I think there were guitars back then.
Yeah.
In the late 1800s?
There's at least a harp.
Maybe 1850?
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably.
Yeah.
I should probably know that.
I just feel like if you could get an audience and use the skills you've got, you would crush.
Well, thank you.
You get some doubloons for sure.
Doubloons.
Like in your hat.
I mean, there was no like mics and PA systems and reverb, and that's definitely an auto-tune. That definitely helps me a lot. So
you're like, this is 1850. You're like, can I get more of my inner ear?
Yeah. I'm like, I'm having a hard time hearing myself in the house.
And then they turn on you when you start asking for futuristic stuff. Let's robot. Let's.
I don't know. You know what? I would love to think that I would be good at, because I watch a lot of YouTube camping videos, like YouTube channels that camp out in the wilderness or camp out in the in snow and stuff like that. And I don't ever do that, and I don't care about camping.
Yeah.
And
you just like to watch.
But I love it. It's very like at night before I go to bed, I kind of love watching these guys, and they'll like build like forts and campsites in the snow, and it's just quiet, and it kind of calms me. And I'm like, well, maybe I would just put some of that.
Yeah.
Not that I would just be dropped out in the middle of 1850 in the snow somewhere in the middle of nowhere. Like, all right, survive.
I just love what YouTube has done to us.
I know.
Like I go to bed every night to a fake fireplace.
Really? Yeah.
You watch people camp instead of camping.
Yep. I just watch people camp, and it's gone from like camping in in snow with like nothing, like it's -20, and I've got to survive tonight with just a fire and a tarp or whatever. And to like, I'll watch like the glamping of like they have these blow up tents.
Yeah.
And they have, a stove in there, and they'll like have screens, and they build it all, and it's snowing around. I'll like all of it in between, and I don't ever camp.
Yeah.
Like we've never, my wife does not she would never want to go camp.
Yeah. It's just so crazy.
I just want to watch someone else's life.
Yeah, I hate camping too. I did it as a kid, but now I'm like old and I don't want to do it.
I know, I did it as a kid too.
But it's still in me, so I can see. I can see just watching people camp.
I either do that or I'll watch people golf. I watch YouTube golf. That's honestly what I do the most is watch YouTube. I don't even watch shows anymore.
Yeah.
People are like, "Which shows are you watching?" I'm like, I
just watch people camp.
I just watch people camp and golf. That's it.
As a matter of fact,
I'm an old man.
On Sunday morning, I watch other people on church. Too.
just watch church on my computer as well. I haven't seen this is the first time, honestly, I've seen someone in person in weeks.
I also watch people do interviews. That's a podcast. We watch interviews. All right. What 2025? What's in the works? Album, music, tours, and what you got that you're excited about?
Well, I'm about to announce. Hopefully,
you're not in 1850 anymore.
Yeah,
by
wait.
The way. Come back to 20.
So in 100 and
what year is it?
It's a big year for me.
Yeah,
it's my first headline tour ever. Made for More tour.
That's awesome.
April, first 2 weeks of April.
I like to think the holiday we helped in some
It helped
way.
a lot.
Yeah,
it helped a lot.
Yeah,
and more than you will ever know because I'll never tell you how much it helped. No, but so that's the biggest thing.
What are the chances we can rig the tour schedule so that October 31st
we're coming through? Initially we're just doing spring.
Okay.
And if it goes well,
if
people show up, then we'll do it. We're doing another one in the fall.
Okay.
And so we're coming. I'm trying to think. Are we coming near? We're coming to Lake Wales, Florida. Lake Wales, Florida.
Yeah, that's in our state.
That's in Florida.
Yeah.
So nothing's as long as you're not at the very top of Florida and
Miami.
People you want to see is at the very bottom or vice versa. Yeah. You can kind of get to wherever.
It's a very thin state.
Yeah. Lake Wales is near Orlando.
Yeah, it's out in the alligators and snakes and some great people who hear us right now.
Great people.
And anybody with you on?
So I'm headlining, and then I'm bringing this guy, a friend of mine named Chris Ekus.
Okay.
He's coming out, up and coming artist, really great songwriter. He's a worship leader and a pastor at a church in Mississippi, but he's also writes a lot of like singer songwriter type songs and that are really cool. Awesome. And so he's coming out with me, and then just me and my band, and we're gonna.
What's your band name?
My band name is it's just my name. It's I'm
gonna end on that.
Josh Baldwin.
I'm gonna end on that. This is speaking of Bargatze. It's like great comedy to what's that called where you go back to a joke?
Oh, recall?
Yeah,
recall humor, a little recall humor.
It's so funny. Nobody's called me out on the fact that I stole that from Nate.
Oh, that was the first thing. I was like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. That's Nate.
Yeah.
People probably would think that I would do well in the 1850s.
I really believe it.
I'm not.
He is one of my favorites all time. The legendary Josh Baldwin, always a special treat. And congrats to Josh headlining his first tour this spring. Let's talk about next episode. It's going to be a first-timer. We will get to know Jamie McDonald, who's had a huge song called Desperate out on radio this year. It'll be nice to get to know her. We'd love it if you hit subscribe so you'll be alerted when a new episode is out. Also, you can follow us on Instagram, and we love it when you let others know where they can find all these interviews. And yeah, one more time, don't forget to hit subscribe. Till next time, thank you for listening. Peace.